Welcome to Crisis in Perception, where we examine the systems shaping our world, one book at a time.
This book uses parallel universes to explore a deeper system, how identity changes when every choice feels reversible in theory but permanent in practice.
You know, this quote, it's right there in the book's dedication, and it's really the heart of the whole thing. It's the emotional engine. See, the sci-fi stuff, the whole multiverse idea, that's not really the point. It's just a tool, a framework to take this question we all ask ourselves and make it terrifyingly, literally real.
So at its core, this book is all about a really deep internal conflict. It's not good versus evil, not at all. It's the battle between, all those infinite shimmering lives we can imagine for ourselves and the single concrete life we're actually living. That tension, that's the possibility prison.
Okay, so this really breaks it down, right? It shows you the source of a very modern kind of regret. Just look at these two sides. On one, you've got the endless allure of what if, that life defined by keeping your options open. And on the other side, the solid reality of what is, a life defined by the choices you've actually made. The book's big idea is that regret really starts to creep in when we stop seeing our life as a story we're actively writing, and instead see it as just one flawed exhibit in a massive gallery of better imaginary alternatives.
And wow, this quote from the main character, Jason Dessen, it just nails that feeling, doesn't it? He has a good life, a family he loves, a steady job. But when he starts measuring that life against the ghost of this exceptional self he imagines, the famous physicist he could have been, suddenly even his own happiness starts to feel like a failure.
And that feeling of not being enough, that's just the starting point. What the book shows so well is how that constant, quiet comparison can really actively destabilize our lives. This idea of other paths, it doesn't just hang around in the back of your mind. It becomes a kind of haunting. And the story takes that question and just rips it out of the metaphorical and makes it brutally real. Our guy isn't just daydreaming about a more successful version of himself. No way. He is literally kidnapped and replaced by him. A version of himself who chose career over family and actually achieved every single one of his professional dreams.
So here we have it. The book pits these two lives directly against each other. One is all about attachment, love, contentment. The other is all about ambition, achievement, world-changing success. And it really forces you to ask which life is actually the better one.
And this is where the story pulls this incredible twist that just flips the whole thing on its head. It turns out it's the successful Jason, the one who optimized his entire life for pure achievement. He's the one who's completely hollowed out by regret. He's the one who feels such a deep sense of loss that his only solution is to steal another man's life. It just goes to show a life of pure achievement can be a very, very empty prize.
And that's the ultimate revelation here. Attachment. That's the stabilizing force. The main character's insane, desperate journey across all these universes. It's not a search for a better life. It's a frantic, all-out fight to get back to his life. His specific, imperfect, messy, committed life is anchored by the people he loves. That attachment. That's the only thing that gives his identity a true north.
To really make you feel this sense of overwhelming choice, the book gives us this one singular, incredibly powerful image. It describes the multiverse experience as standing in a corridor, a hallway that just stretches on forever in both directions, lined with an infinite number of doors.
Every single one of those doors leads to another possible world, another version of your life. And the logic is it's inescapable, right? You don't build a life by just standing in the hallway admiring all the doors. A life is built by choosing one, walking through it, and accepting that when you do, all the other doors lock behind you forever. And that act, that commitment, is what gives your path its weight. It's what gives it meaning. Okay, so this brings us to the final and kind of paradoxical insight of the whole book. This idea of the freedom of a locked door. It suggests that maybe real freedom isn't about keeping all your options open forever. Maybe it's about finding meaning in the choices you actually truly commit to.
So let's go back to that hallway one last time. What actually defines the person walking that hall? What defines you? Is it the infinite potential of all those doors you could open? Or is it the unique, unrepeatable path you create by choosing a door, walking through it, then another, and committing to that one single journey?
So takeaway number one is this. Infinite choice does not produce freedom. For our hero, that journey through the endless hallway of worlds, it wasn't liberating at all. It was a terrifying, lonely prison of what-ifs. It's the classic paradox of choice, right? Having a sheer infinity of options becomes a crushing weight, not a source of freedom. And that leads to the second big idea. Meaning requires limits. Real meaning isn't found out there in endless possibility. It's found within the specific, chosen limits of your one life. The commitments you make to people, to a place, to a path, those aren't cages. They're the boundaries that give your life its shape and its purpose.
And finally, maybe the most powerful insight of all. Identity is built through staying, not by switching. The protagonist figures out who he truly is, not by trying on other lives to see which one is the best, but by fighting with everything he has to get back to his own. Your identity, it's not some costume you can just swap out. It's forged in the fire of your commitments. And this final quote, man, it just says it all. A committed life with all of its flaws and all of its locked doors, that's the only one that can ever really be yours. It's those specific, unchangeable moments along the way that create the people and the love that make that life worth fighting for in the first place.
For the full deep dive into this book and its ideas, follow the link in the description. If you enjoy this kind of systems-level analysis, please like, subscribe, and comment with books or topics we should explore next.